let's bring in Stephen Moore, who I'm sure has lots to talk about on this. Stephen, he's calling for more government spending. My question is, when does it stop?
Well, let's do the numbers here, Ashley. So we started the year with $1 trillion in the pipeline, remember, from the bill that Trump passed for COVID. And then right out of the gates, Biden signed a $2 trillion, well, $1.9 trillion, let's round that up to $2 trillion. Then last week, they announced a $2 trillion green energy bill. And now they've got another $2 trillion for what they're calling human infrastructure. By the way, I'd never heard that term before, Ashley. That's a new one on me. But if you add up those 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, that's $7 trillion. This is the most massive, irresponsible, reckless fiscal policy in the history of the United States. This is not a story that will end well. The impact on, I believe it will cause a financial crisis if we continue to spend and borrow at this pace. And right now, the Democrats show no signs of any kind of guardrails or any kind of slowdown in terms of, and by the way, we just got a blockbuster 1 million jobs report on Friday, Ashley. There's no need for more stimulus spending. We got to continue to get the vaccine out there, and you're going to have a healthy economy. I think the biggest worry on the economy right now and for investors should be the massive spending spree and the tax increases to come to pay for it.
Should they be involving the private sector? President Trump wanted to do that, was never able to get it together. But surely a partnership with the private sector is a much more healthy way to go.
I don't think you even need government that involved in infrastructure. You know, people have to realize 2/3 to 3/4 of our infrastructure in America is private infrastructure. And by the way, the other, you know, about 20% of it is state and local, and traditionally only about 5% of our infrastructure has been paid for by the federal government, and that's appropriate. There's no reason, for example, for someone out in Alabama to be paying for the New York subway system, right? And so if you have the federal government paying infrastructure in states, they're going to pave their roads with gold because they're going to view it as free money. You want to move towards a user-pay system where the people who benefit from the infrastructure are actually the people who pay for it. So let's get back to private funding of infrastructure. We're needed, state and local, and the federal government should have as small a presence as possible.
All right, next topic for you, Stephen. New York lawmakers are nearing a deal to raise income and corporate taxes by more than $4 billion. Now, how can New York recover from the pandemic if they're dealing with all of these taxes and regulations? It doesn't make sense, does it?
You know, this is heartbreaking. I mean, we are seeing progressivism. This is one of the things this is a problem I have with the people in Washington right now. Why don't they look at what's happening in New York and California and Illinois and say, we don't want to do that for the nation? And that's exactly what they're doing. They're raising taxes, they're raising spending, they're putting in, mandatory union rules, all of these things that have been a complete failure in New York. I mean, if you want to see progressivism, folks, and where it leads, just go to New York City and the Bronx and Manhattan and see all of the stores boarded up and people leaving in droves. I mean, New York we do an index every year, Ashley, with Art Laffer and the group ALEC, which is a group of state legislators. And we have, for the last 12 years, ranked the states in terms of their competitiveness. And New York usually comes in 49th or 50th place because of their high taxes and high regulations and enforced union rules. And now New York, I mean, how do you go from worst to worster? I mean, really, they should be cutting their taxes. This is supposed to be the place that's the financial capital of the world, and they're taxing the very people in the finance industry. I think Wall Street is going to move out of New York if this kind of tax and spend continues. New York will now be the highest tax place in the world. Ashley, what sense does that make?
That's insane. Well, and we're already seeing people move, already seeing financial institutions head down to South Florida. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Stephen Moore, thank you as always, Stephen. Appreciate it.